Here we go.
For sure. Let's go.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yo,
Let's go.
welcome to another IEST Podcast episode. Today we have another IE great. He's DJ with some of the greatest in the game, the legends in the game, such as Mr. Chalk, DJ Revolution. He's also produced for some of the greatest legends in the game, like Yuck Mouth from Loonies, YBE. He's produced records where they have over 20 million views. He's an engineer. He's a musician. And as y'all can tell, I'm a little hyped because he's not only a great creator, he's also one of my favorite people. He's a good person. I know the introduction was a little bit too long, but we good. But this is my man, the great, the one and only Beazie Beats. Appreciate you, fam. You know what I'm saying? Until we get better.
Glad to be here, bro. Glad to be here, bro. Glad to be here.
When was music introduced to you? Where'd the foundation begin for you?
For me, the earliest I remember just listening. I remember my parents really putting me on at a young age to a lot of cool stuff, man. I owe a lot of stuff to my parents, to be honest. Just like a lot of other people, but
Yes,
same.
myself too.
But you know what I'm saying? But yeah, thankful to have them and everything that they've done to be able to kind of build me up to make me who I am today, you know what I'm saying? But it all started off back then from just early age listening to just different albums. I remember my dad got this, it was a 97 Explorer.
Oh,
And that was when they first had the CDs in them, right? But the CDs were in the trunk. Like
What?
it was a 6 CD changer, but you had to put the CDs in the, like, it was weird, bro.
It was a
Weird.
cartridge.
Yes, the cartridge,
There you
exactly.
go.
The cartridge, exactly. And I remember, man, just being the diversity that was in my house, like, it explains how I am now. You know what I'm saying? Everything from all the funk, the old school, the soul, my mom rocking all that, you know what I'm saying? The oldies, everything. And then my pops on the rock, on the, you know what I'm saying, the jazz, on the, you know what I'm saying, the soul, like different kinds of, just different genres. And yeah, I kind of opened my eyes to like start listening to different things, you know? And then I remember specifically hearing like, it was like a Rage Against the Machine album, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I was so young that I was like stealing CDs, like from my sister and my pops, you know, and just listening to them and like, what is this? Like, I don't know what this is. It just says explicit, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like going through them and just like finding kind of what I liked, you know, and at a young age, just like really just falling in love with music, you know. And then from there, it jumped to, I met a friend, right, my neighbor, and he played guitar, and that kind of really just opened me up. He set me up. He got me, you know, showed me how to play, and we started jamming, and that's kind of when I was like, wow, we could play too. I don't have to just listen, you know what I'm saying?
What's your thought process going back, being like 13?
So when I was 13, I got the guitar, started playing it, started learning, right? And I had multiple people around me that were playing, which was cool because I got to like kind of learn and like just, you know, take it all in. Started in a band, then we started playing with the band. So I was in a band when I was like probably like 16, 17, you know, started dabbling in a band, stuff like that, trying to find it, you know. Between that, just growing up as a kid and just, you know, dabbling in things, really just dabbling. And then I remember when I was about like 17, and that's when I was getting better, 17, 18, you know, 17. And we started with the band. And that's when it really, really locked in. And we had a really cool band. And that kind of really like opened it up for me to like see that whole side of everything. And just kind of like, you know, play my position. Because in the band, you play your position, you know?
Yes,
and
team player.
since the guitar player was so good, it was teaching me, naturally, I was the bass player, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's how it ended up being, like, the bass turned into more at the start, you know what I'm saying? I went from learning the guitar, and I played them both, because, you know, anybody that plays bass knows they kind of go hand in hand. You either just like one or the other more, bass and guitar, you know what I'm saying? So I played both, but in the band, I was the bass player, and it just kind of happened for me like that. And we started playing, and we were rocking for a few years till I was probably about like 20. Yeah, about like 20.
Okay.
And I played in the band. No, maybe about like 19 probably. Now, and we were rocking. We were playing local shows, a lot of cool stuff, and started playing Stingers back in the day.
Oh,
playing, you know what I'm
wow. I
saying?
remember Stingers.
Yeah, we were doing things, bro.
Seven,
Things were
yeah.
happening, and
Word.
you know, all good things come to an end. Just didn't work out. Didn't
Yes.
happen. Timing wise, you know, and that is when I kind of found the music production. I didn't have an outlet. Like the band, if anybody knows being in a band, being, you know what I'm saying, you know, you get this feeling when you're playing. When everybody's playing together, this is the whole reason everybody does it. It's this euphoric feeling of just being in rhythm and in time together with people. This energy, you know what I'm saying, that it gives you.
Dope.
And musicians know what I'm talking about. Like every musician knows what I'm talking about. But that feeling, like, it was gone once I didn't have the band no more. So I kind of had to find a way, and luckily I had another friend. And again, influences are a big thing in my whole career, you know what I'm saying? People influencing me and showing me a little bit of the way for me to like learn a lot of the way. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, oh, well, I do music, make beats too. Like my homie was like, he was a singer and stuff like that. He was like, oh, I make beats too, blah, blah, blah. And he kind of showed me like a little bit of that side. And at the time it was Cakewalk. What was it? We were on Reason, Cakewalk, and like Audacity, I want to say, or some. Oh man, we were on all these other. Oh, and Fruity Loops was around too, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, it was around back then too. Reason and Fruity Loops for sure. But it was just like so new, and he kind of showed me the beginning of it. Like, oh, this is what you do. Help me to get the program. And I really started off recording my guitar. Like I would find loops.
Okay.
And record my guitar and bass over those loops. Like add shit, and then I would make beats out of them. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
And that's kind of how I like started making beats, and then from there it kind of just kept going. Like I was playing more guitar and just like doing more of that, and just trying to kind of find what it was that was gonna work for me. And then after that, like I just like dove into it. Right. Then I met another friend. Started working at this place, and I met another homie, and he was into making beats, but he was also a DJ too.
Oh, dope.
So at this time, I didn't even think about it.
Thinking about
DJing
that?
wasn't even on my radar at all. Like I've seen DJs, I looked at DJs, I was like, okay, but it was never like I always had dope playlists, I always had things like that. I was always the guy playing music, you know what I'm saying? But it would never really came to me like, oh shit, like that's what it is, you know? Until I made all these beats, and then it was like, oh, you should do a beat showcase. Play at a beat showcase. You know what I'm saying? And this is kind of when I first started going to downtown Riverside, and they were having these beat showcases. And it's crazy because a lot of dope people played at those showcases back in the day that it's crazy now. You know what I'm saying? Including myself. And like going back.
Throw a name out there.
Talk about Endangered Beats, or is this before
This
that?
is Endangered Beats.
Yeah.
Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer.
Demon Slayer's one, bro.
Yep.
Oh my man.
Still got footage from that.
Dude, crazy, right? Bro, we had a lot of people out there that were just like crazy. And this was early on. Like early on stages, before like I even started getting into that, right? That was already happening there. So that was like at the very beginning, right?
Okay.
So I played the first beat showcases with I remember I had an MPC MIDI controller in Ableton, and I had a controller, right? And I had my guitar.
I remember that.
I have a picture of it, bro. And that was like the first time I did it, right? And it was great. To me, it was the fucking best thing ever. I had fucking had the greatest time. You know what I'm saying? I was probably drunk off my ass at the time. You know what I'm saying? And I was just having the blast. Like, I was young, and you know what I'm saying? No worries. It was great. It was great. But at that time, though, I didn't even realize it until the next one, when he was like, yeah, bro, you don't really have to bring all that stuff. He was like, bro, like, shout out to my boy McGutter, too. If you guys know McGutter,
yeah, shout out to McGutter.
Another OG.
Yes.
Yes, shout out
Definitely
to McGutter.
Gonna have him on the podcast, too.
Man, yes.
Yeah.
You don't need to bring all that shit. What do you need to bring it for? Just bring a thumb drive and DJ it. I said, wow, you're right. You're right. Okay, so what's DJing then? And I remember, like, that's kind of like, I just started asking all these questions because he was answering them. You know what I'm saying? He was the only one that was really answering them.
And was it like carrying milk crates of records at the time?
It was, yes.
Yeah, they still had
that
it
was
back
the
in those
very
days.
end of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was the very end of it. which was crazy because I got to get on the tail end of it, so I got to learn the right way, and still like take in that. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty interesting to go down that route. You know, so again, this was like pre a lot of stuff. This is like very scratch live. Like it's crazy how far back it was. But anyways, we he kind of was like, yeah, DJ, bring a flash drive, cool, put your beats on that, cool. And I was like, dope. All right. So then I did it, and I was like, and I said, wait, that's kind of dope. I'm kind of good at that already, huh? Like I just like, and off the bat, he was like, oh, you're kind of good at that. That's pretty dope. And I was like, you're right. So then I just went, and I just kept going, bro. Kept scratching, just kept scratching, kept cutting it up, and just kept learning. And I just really like envisioned what I wanted to do at that point. I said, oh, this is my lane. Make my beats, but DJ them out. But when I DJ, I could be a good DJ. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I could be a really good DJ. That's what's going to separate me from all these other guys that are just making beats. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. Yeah. That's
presentation.
It did separate you.
Presentation of them. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Presentation of how I was going to put the stuff out and how I was going to do it. So at that point, I was like, all right, cool. So I started DJing, and luckily, I landed a gig, a DJ gig. And again, me just being eager and just wanting to learn, and I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And I landed a gig, and I started doing it, bro. And it just kind of naturally came to me because, again, your upbringing, your family. When my parents played for me, a lot of that shit didn't change. It doesn't change. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
The good shit stays the same. So 100%. For me, it was like, catching on was like, okay, I kind of get it. And I'm the middle child, so I have 2 sisters.
Okay.
So my diversity, bro, like is crazy, bro. Like, cause I learned a lot from them too, as well, as well as my mom and my dad. So it being all over the place, I got to kind of see what people like, what they don't like, you know what I'm saying, and look at it from 2 different lenses: producer's perspective and also a DJ perspective.
Now I see why you're so diverse and so unique, because I was telling you off air, I was like, yo, bro, you got a diverse catalog. It's rare to see that nowadays, in terms of like, you look at those years, like those years count. You know what I'm saying? Part of your career, like, you know what I mean? That was over 11 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, and to see where you're at now, like, for me, like, it's dope. I think it's like amazing, because you know that time period, and no diss to nobody, but not everybody made it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're one of the few that we could look up and be like, yeah, Beazie was there from the jump. Yo, I even remember going to, DJ sessions after the club with y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
life, you know what I'm
saying?
saying?
Yeah, it was life. Yeah, exactly.
That's what it becomes. But also, there's a downside to that. Mm-hmm. There's a major downside to that. Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a lifestyle, but going out to the clubs, DJing, doing all that, you know what I'm saying? It's the nightlife. You're surrounded by a lot of things, alcohol things, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it takes a toll on you.
Yes.
It takes a toll on you.
I agree.
It takes a big toll on you. So at one point, I was like, damn, all right, this is great, but how come my beats aren't as good as that guy? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the hell? Like, how come my beats aren't? And I was like showing people and like, you know? I was getting the nose or the, oh, that's all right kind of thing. And I'm just like, what is the deal here? Like, why are my beats not that good? When I thought, I was having a great time and everything was cool. And I started, spreading my wings. And I started finding out, oh, it's not that good at that time. Because I was so new to it, you know what I'm saying? I was still new to it. I was barely doing it for like a year, you know what I'm saying? Not even. And like, I thought, so at that time I was like, okay, I got to change a couple things. And I was like, what am I going to do? I mean, I just, life happens and a couple like things happen. My cousin got in a car accident and a couple other things happened that were just like eye openers for me, you know what I'm saying? And that made me realize like, damn, I got to do something. Like, I'm like already like 23. I'm doing this, but it's just going to be constant. And I'm like, I got to change something about myself. I was overweight. It was a big difference. It was like the person times 2, you know what I'm saying? It was like 3 of me, before. So now, that to me, that like opened up my eyes back then, and that's where I went to change.
Okay.
So I literally went totally sober. You know what I'm saying? Still smoking my trees, still smoking my trees and all that, but stopped the alcohol and just really tried to focus and hone in on my craft. And use that place that I was, you know, had a residency at, and to build me and to build my skill, you know what I'm saying? So I had a mission, and I was on this mission, and then I got to a point where I felt like I was here in the IE, and I was learning from everybody, but we got to a point where there was no more knowledge to give.
Yeah. You gotta go spread
No more
your
knowledge
wings.
to give. So for me, that's where I was like, wow, I gotta do something. I gotta try to see what else is out there, you know?
Yes.
And I can't remember who told me it or who had said it. Oh, there was this kid. I was on a podcast with my brother Jazzy J, my photographer.
Shout out to Jazzy J.
Shout out to Jazzy J. We had a podcast back in the day too around then. So we were doing, I was about 23, and it was called like Freak Beats Radio, I believe.
Oh, dope.
It was on the KCAA radio. Have you heard of that one?
Dope.
Yeah. That was before they even had the radio station. It was like the podcast station, basically. But anyways, we had that, and then this kid came on that they had interviewed, and he was like part of a crew or something, and then he had said something about DJ Scratch Academy. And then like, I don't know, for some reason that shit stuck with me, bro. Like it was like meant for me to hear that. And don't get me wrong, I already had my setup, turntables. At the time I was on a Rain 57. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was already cutting it up. I was already doing my thing. But, again, I was at that point where, like, where's the rest of the knowledge? Like, who knows more? You know what I'm saying? Who knows more than what I'm learning here? Yes. And that's when, like, I kind of, like, dove into that to kind of see, like, hey, what's that about? Then, yeah, ended up going out there to L.A. Shout out to DJ Scratch Academy, you know what I'm saying? Still rocking out there.
Yes.
Jam Master J, rest in peace, you know what I'm saying?
Rest in peace.
But, yeah, man, best move I ever made in my life, for real. Because not only was I able to make contacts and friendships, you know what I'm saying, for life, but I was able to go out there and learn from the best, you know what I'm saying? Not only did I get to, like, see people in action, but I literally got to just one-on-ones with the greats, you know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
Like, just being in sessions with DJ Revolution and just like going back and forth and just boom, this is how you do the scratch, this is how you do it, this is how you do it. Nope. Okay, that was it. Nope. Yep. Okay, that's it. You got it. You know what I'm saying? Like shit like that. Mr. Chalk, like we were talking about, you know what I'm saying? And the people that I was able to learn from out there was amazing, bro. And that, again, I said, fuck it, I'm gonna take. Oh, sorry about that.
No, you're good, fam. You can curse all day. You good.
Yeah. So I took it as, all right, I'm just gonna take every class here. I made it known there. Like when I got there, everybody knew me. And at that time, I had the outlet. I had the residency at the club. And at that point, I started booking. So I had this outlet. Like, okay, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna dive into the school, and I'm just gonna book everybody that's here at my spot. I'm gonna pay it forward. I'm gonna book everybody, including the instructor. Like everybody. Who doesn't like money? Who doesn't want to get paid? You know what I'm saying? Who doesn't want that? So I just started booking everybody. And I had a different route to going about it, obviously. So I got all the good, like the instructors first. Main, I got Revolution, Mr. Chalk, all the main instructors, you know what I'm saying, that were there. I got everybody to play there. And man, they just nothing but great things. Yeah, Beazie's dope already. Like people were there like, Beazie's dope. But my thing was, I already knew how to DJ and how to rock a party, but it was more so the scratching and the turntablism,
science
and the music production that I wanted to really learn, you know what I'm saying? And at that point, my goal was like, okay, you're going to dive into this DJing, but you're going to come back full circle, and you're going to learn music production, and you're going to come back and be this producer, this super producer that you want to be, you know what I'm saying? And so for me, that was when I had the vision, for say, you know what I'm saying? I had the vision that, all right, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to be. This is how I'm going to do it, too. So started booking everybody, booked them all, boom, took every single class at that school, graduated with honors. It was great, met everybody, got to work with everybody, and then, you know, kept it moving. Came back and utilized my new skills and utilized everything and kept booking more and more and more and more, and just started getting more people and just, you know, spreading my wings even more.
Yes.
It really leveled me up as a DJ, you know, but at the same time, I was also doing the music production. So the music production, I never let it like completely leave. I always had it there and was always had that, like, you know, I have to do this because it's what I do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Always making beats. That's just what it was. So for me, like, when I got to that point, it was like, okay, cool. So now we finished the DJing,
Mm-hmm.
got all the contacts. Now we did all the music production stuff, started building in that area. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Dropped a few things. Well, actually, I dropped a album. I dropped an album back then, in Danger Beats days.
Which one? The Bear?
The Bear one,
Yes.
which I need to take down because that shit
Why?
is funny.
Nah.
Man, because I just cringe when I listen to it. You know what I'm saying? But at the
Go
same
go
time,
get it before it's gone, people.
it
You know what I'm
marks-
saying?
Get it before it's
Exactly.
gone.
It marks a time of my life though, because I could hear and I feel the progression of you know
Yes.
how far I've come. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So
Yes.
that was the first one I dropped. Though. That was like back then. But then again, a few years later, after the schooling and all that, then I dropped another one.
Mhm.
But I was already way different by then. I'd stopped drinking. You know what I'm saying, got in shape. I was a different person. But I was still DJing, still doing my thing, still going hard. And basically, like I put out another album. It's called Tropicali. And
Yes.
there was a bunch of
Okay.
remixes and a bunch of like dancey stuff, like, you know? And it was
Sound like
cool. It was getting better. Like, all right, you're getting a little bit better. All right, cool. Because there was some fire. Actually, no, I take that back. There's a fire track that I still play. There's this remix, this Usher remix. It's fire. But
Mm.
like I was getting better, and I noticed that I was getting better. I was like, dope, cool. So I just kept moving, kept it moving, kept DJing, kept doing my thing. But I just was like, man, I need more knowledge.
Yes, and that's what's beautiful about your story, fam, is that, and I love that you're my fault. I love that you're explaining that part of the story. I think a lot of people, I think sometimes people forget that there's still somebody, I don't want to say better than you, but there's definitely levels. It's okay to go out and seek knowledge and information. I feel like sometimes people are like, nah, I don't want to do that. It's going to mess up who I am. It's like, nah, go out there and learn from the best, and then you utilize that with who you are and just go to a whole nother level. I commend you for doing that, and you know, you youngsters out there, producers, musicians, like, highly recommend, you know, always seek to be great. I do the same thing in the visual world. Seek greatness.
Yep,
Try to get
knowledge.
better. You know what I mean?
Yep, always learning, bro. Always got to keep it learning. That's what it is. But that was what it was though. Like, I understood that okay, in order to be able to even be close, you have to have the knowledge, you know.
Yeah. So where'd that come from? Where'd that mindset come from? What made you
My
think
dad.
about doing that?
My dad.
Okay.
My
Shout out to
dad has
Pops.
a college degree. He has a master's degree.
Yo, what
My
up,
mom
Pops?
has a
That's
college
right.
degree.
I
My
see you,
parents,
Moms.
my
That's
mom and
right.
my dad. You know what I'm saying? Both of them. And you know, they show me that knowledge is key. But the thing was that they were, you know, school taught, but they also understood that wasn't for me.
Mm.
Like I tried it, but it wasn't for me.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So the music route, which was cool, that they welcomed that with open arms. Like, yeah, okay, that's what you want to do. All right, we're gonna support you for that. And that, you know, it was amazing. So once I got to that point, got out of like I said, I got out of the first school. Then again, I was over there doing my thing, but I was still searching for knowledge. And I was like, man, there's got to be a better way. So I was, again, just kind of looking around. And then I found this other school. And it was really cool, the commercial. And they had this really cool teacher at Beat Lab Academy, right?
Oh, dope.
So Beat Lab Academy, the instructor was Yuta Benatar. If anybody Googles Yuta Benatar, you guys will know this guy's insane, right? Basically, he's a genius. You know what I'm saying?
Dope.
And I got to learn hand in hand again with him, and I went through the program with them, and it was like a year. And man, that just stepped me. It was basically Ableton from the start all the way to finish. And that just, wow. I was around all these great musicians, but people that were doing what I was doing, making beats and just trying to do them, trying to find their sound, you know? And it was really cool to be in that environment, a different environment, learning a different kind of way, you know?
Yes.
So once I found that and I started doing that, that's kind of when I found my sound. And I realized that, because at the time I was trying to do like dance and like, I was doing, it was a Moombathon time. That was the
Okay.
era. It was Moombathon. Moombathon era. About, I don't even remember, it was like 2011 or some shit. I don't know. It was crazy, bro. But anyways, that that era, like I was trying to again find myself at all these like I didn't really know what route, like I was going different routes and I was just trying to find it, you know.
Yes.
And then I remember the specific day though, we were making beats and it was like a timer, like okay, now it's like headphone time. You would call it headphone time, and you put your headphones on and you try to make basically off of the lesson what you learn, like you try to make something and utilize the stuff in the lesson, you know.
Okay, dope.
And
yes. Okay.
like I just made like a trap beat, like a little like I thought it was like I think at the time it was like a little pump type beat. I felt like it was, and it was like
That's right.
it was
That's
like
right. That's dope.
easy for me,
Mm.
and I was like, oh shit, this shit's easy. Like, okay, let me do this again. Let me do this again. Let me see, and then that just kind of like turned into like, wow, this is actually my lane. Like trap, West Coast hip hop, like that's my shit, you know, R&B, everything. Like, I realized that was my lane. So that changed everything. So when I finished that school, it was like, okay, I'm gonna make beats and I'm gonna sell them, and I'm gonna get artists on them. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
That was the goal. And I remember him telling me like at the end, like, you just gotta get the right artists on your beats. That's all you need. That's it. And I'm like, damn, you're right. Like, that's what it is. That's what it is. So at that point, when I got out of that school, that's when I was like, okay, now I'm ready to dive into it, to really try to do what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Like DJing, yes, 100%, but that wasn't the main. Came full circle back to the music production. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So now that I'm back and now that that's my lane, like now that's when I started going on the beats. Started the YouTube, started my beat store, and just started going in, bro. Just trying to learn everything, all the styles, because then I had to learn all the different styles now. Like I learned everything about how to create, but now there's all these different styles of hip hop. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
From trap to hip hop to R&B to West Coast. You know what I'm saying?
Yup.
Fucking drill.
Drill, yup.
You know what I'm saying? There's all these different kinds of genres, like sample shit. There's so many different kinds of genres within hip hop. So
Yeah.
for me, it's just been a journey of just learning everything. And I remember like just started doing the type beats. And it was funny because the first one that I did, I think, was a little pump type beat.
There you go.
If you go back, it's still there. It's
yeah,
a banger.
I was looking at
It's a banger for sure.
Mhm.
So I just started dropping beats, bro. I was just like, fuck it. I'm going to go this route. I kind of know exactly what I want to do now. And I started dropping beats. And then that just kept happening, bro, for years. And then started getting placements, you know what I'm saying? Started getting some big placements. And then that's when I landed the one with YB.
Yes.
So that's probably like my biggest record for sure. So we talk about that one because that's like my biggest record.
Yes.
That shit is crazy right now, bro. That shit is like 20 million.
Yes, at 20 million when I looked today, 20 million plus views.
And my name's right there. My name's in the
Yes.
credits. I got credit on everything, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And that was like my introduction to the game.
So
Which
when
is
did you
crazy.
make that beat? When?
I made it after I got back. Okay, no. So after I got out of school, it was probably 2 years after that.
Okay.
Because I made that beat at the ranch. Do you remember the ranch where I lived over there at that spot? You might have went there once.
Yeah. With Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yup.
For sure.
Yup,
Shout out to Ryan
definitely.
G.
Yeah. What up, Ryan G? What up, fam?
Yeah. So at that time, like I had locked into with him, and like, you know, I was just learning from everything, all angles, and I was really blessed to be around some cool people that really like took the craft seriously, and really like took care of it. You know.
Yes.
Still try to keep that old alive, but you know, with the new too.
Yes.
So I was able to take a lot of that in and continue to grow. You know what I'm saying? And along that time, I did a lot of things, Kev. We did a lot of things.
Yes.
I did the IE Record Collective.
Yes. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah.
Yo, so what made you even think about it, and what made you even think about executing it? Because a lot of times we have ideas, but afraid to execute it or don't do it. Can you walk us through that?
I was just on a great like life high, bro. I was just really willing to do whatever it was to make shit happen. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted something that like I could look back on and be like, yeah, that was dope. I was able to build that and do that, you know? And that's kind of what it was. But I wanted to bring something to downtown that like wasn't happening really, you know?
Yeah.
And that was the goal.
Yeah.
And it happened, you know?
Yes.
So, you know, again, it was me and Ryan at the beginning. And then it went me, Ryan, and a couple other people, you know what I'm saying? homie Jazzy J, and then a couple other people that were, you know, major people parts of it, and that we just started building, you know. We started throwing these big shows. Like, we had some really cool acts, bro. I was just talking to the other dude over here, and we were talking about some of the acts that were there. It's like crazy. We had like a lot of these bands and stuff before the fact, you know. Before the fact. So I was
some names. Drop some names, fam.
Oh man, Quinta Peñas back then. Brain Story. There was I can't even
Phil,
remember.
you got any names?
I can't even remember.
Hey, you guys had a nice stage though, right?
Yeah, we had the
in
big
the middle of the
stage,
street, a
and there
big
was, like,
stage.
There was a couple of these oldie acts that played too, and then we had a lot of like dope DJs as well, really dope DJs, a lot of dope collectors. So for those of the people that don't know, it was like
right on University, right? The parking lot by Pixels, kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Right in front of
people. It was like a record swap meet, you know what I'm saying, with all these vendors and selling vinyl records, and then we had a lineup of like dope artists and DJs throughout the whole day.
And it's right in front of a bunch of restaurant bars, so you could just walk in there and have a drink and get some food or something. Like, that's cool.
It was super, super dope. So we built that from the ground up, you know what I'm saying? And luckily we had a good sponsor, you know, and it worked out. Like we're able to get going.
Who's that sponsor?
To grow. Shout out to Worthingtons, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I was
they
sure
were the major I guess the W now.
Shelby doing it.
Shout out to Worthies.
They helped us out and we got it going, you know what I'm saying? We made it happen. So it was like it was meant to happen, you know. But that got to really show me too, like how to run something and how to build something. You know,
a little bit of skill.
Yes, 100% in a different direction, and a lot of business skill too. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because again, it was a business. Like we had all our shit in order. We had to have the tax write-offs and all that because it was like a non-profit.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was great. You know what I'm saying? And it worked out for the time that it was. We did it for like I want to say we were on like 6 or 7 years. Seriously, we did it like twice a year for 6 or 7 years. It was a long one. There's also an old video on there, like a really old one. It was like the third or second one, and like they interviewed us and they did it. It was like on a college radio show, but it was pretty. It's pretty dope. You guys can look that up. That shit's pretty dope. But anyways, it was just super cool, very cool vibe, and yeah, we did that. You know, that was in between everything. And again, I was just networking, just trying to build and trying to just make people happy and just make myself happy, you know?
Yes.
That was the goal. So at that point, like, things were going great. And I just kept on moving. And again, that's, when I started to get the placements.
Yes.
Like, all my hard work was, like, kind of coming around, like, oh, shit, like, this is happening. Okay, I got you, And I ended up getting the studio right there. Yes. And I was locked in, you know what I'm saying? I was just doing it.
You're like right downtown, right?
Yeah, I was right in the downtown, right above Worthies actually. Yeah, I had an amazing spot, bro. It was great spot, right there in the heart. And yeah, things were going, man. Like I got, again, like the first million there, second million was there.
That's right.
And then the third one didn't happen until later, but it was, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So it was just. I don't know. I was having fun, and I just was kind of riding the wave, bro.
Grinding. So
riding the wave.
So with the placements, how did you go about trying to get placements? Did that come from you, like how you're saying with the with your website, and you putting beats on there and artists hitting you up, or how did that work for you?
Partially through there. Okay. I had one on YouTube that hit like 100K like super quick. You know what I'm saying? And then like a lot of people started hitting me up off of that shit. Like it was just I was like, what, that one? It was like when I was just putting out so many beats on the internet like every week literally for years, and I was like putting them out like hundreds and hundreds of beats on my site, you know what I'm saying? And it was just like clockwork, just part of my job, I just treated it like a job. And I just started sending them out, and a lot of it came from relationships. That's what it was. Yeah. Shout out to my cousin Mike Savage. You know what I'm saying? He is just, man, String Cartel. He plugged me in. He plugged me in. You know what I'm saying? With a bunch of people, and luckily I was able to get that one with YB, and boom, it hit. Yeah. So again, those few things kind of just like got everybody's eyes open. Like, oh shit, like that, what? This happened. So it was a great feeling, man. and I took advantage of it, and you know, it was a good time. But you know, as it all happens, all good things come to an end. You know what I'm saying? It's time to move on. You get your time, and then it's on to the next. So for me, I was just getting placements. Like, that's what I kept doing. I was just like, all right, cool. Who could I send to next? Trying to send to. But then I'm like, okay, wait. It's kind of like a 50-50 game, because, like, you might not hear back from the person. Like, you could send them something, and either they're going to be like, yes, and send you something back, or they're not. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I was like, man, I really got to get my business in order, because this is not really working right. Like I feel like I'm not really on the good end of the stick right now. You know what I'm saying? Yes. You know what I'm saying? Now, every relationship is different, obviously. So there's some that are great. Some people, you know, 50-50 is great, you know, or whatever it's going to be. You know what I mean? Now, it's not like that with everybody. And it's just what it is. That's just how it works, right? Yes. So I started figuring this out, and I was like, man, I got to keep looking into my business and get it more locked in. And that's why, you know what I'm saying, I was starting to tighten up the placements more, like who am I sending them to, how am I sending them, you know what I mean, stuff like that. Because at the beginning I was just sending, like, I wasn't even carrying it, to be honest. I was just sending shit and like, all right, on to the next. You just trying to get on. On to the next. And then, like, that's just what was happening, you know. But after that, I was kind of like, okay, I got to be a little bit more, so, like, careful with what I'm doing now, you know what I'm saying? So that kind of went into the next phase of me, okay, now let's see who I can get that's even, you know, even at a higher level than that, kind of stuff like that. So it kept just growing. For me, it just kept growing, you know what I'm saying? And those were the big ones, but again, I got a lot of them in between off of that were like big as well. It's just 20 million is a hard one to beat, you know what I'm saying? Man. That's tough to beat right there. And I look back at that one and I'm like, damn, like, yeah, I made that shit. That shit's hard. Like, cool. Like, you know, it's crazy. That's dope. That happened. But again, life goes on. You just got to keep it moving. Yeah.
And you're prepared for that moment. I think a lot of people forget about that aspect as well. Like, you putting in all that work, it pays off. They normally say it does take about a decade or so, but like, for you putting in the work, when you got to that level, you knew how to execute. Some people may get there and don't know what the hell they doing.
100%. So,
and stay there.
So from there, I kept landing placements, and then I was working with this artist, and don't know how it happened. I know how it happened. It was my music. That's how it happened.
There you go.
But I met these guys, and they ended up they were Usher's producers.
Dope.
So I was like, whoa, dope. Wow, crazy. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I met these guys that are really in the industry, you know what I'm saying? So I started working for them, and it just kind of worked out for the time, you know? And I got to, like, enjoy some of the craziest experiences of my life, you know what I'm saying? And be around some of, like, the dopest people. Literally being in the studio with Usher, literally being in the studio with Lil Jon, working with them, being their, you know, sound tech, stuff like that. And being in that room, creating with them, like, I got to work with Battle Cat. I got to work, man, bro, the opportunities and things that I was in. But I also got to work with those producers and see everything at the higher level. I was at the at Westlake Studios in L.A., you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We worked at that. We worked at the record plant. We worked at a lot of different places. And I got to see the whole other side of everything. Because I got to see it from an independent side over here, doing it on my own, growing, you know what I'm saying? But then I went to the big city and got to see the real thing. Big money, where you know what I'm saying, where they actually really do it.
That label work.
The label work.
So where there's like multiple producers, where you have to work with other producers.
Where it's not like you're part of a team now.
It's a team, yeah.
Yeah, it's not just you and the guy. No, it's you, the guy, the songwriter, the keyboard player, the beat maker, the A&R, you know what I'm saying? The engineer, the engineer assistant, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's eyes on you. It's a high level.
It's big thing.
Yeah,
so,
and every minute is like $500 or something crazy.
Those sessions are crazy.
Everyone in there is getting paid somehow.
Yeah, like, how is like that, the work ethic in there?
So I got in there. Oh, my bad.
No. I was just gonna see, like, did you have to change your work ethic at all? Was it more
bro. It was like, have you seen that P Diddy show?
Which one? Like back in the day?
Yeah, where he would like, you know, when Dave Chappelle made fun of him and he had him on his shoulders, like, bro. motherfuckers are divas, dog, at the high level. Like, this is what it is. But
if you're doing any running at those spots, you're going all over.
Bro, you're doing everything. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Usher is R&B.
But I was in a weird position because I was a producer. But I was working with them, so it wasn't like, I wasn't really a runner. I was more an assistant producer, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It was an interesting like dynamic that I was able to fall into at these guys that are at a high level that have been doing it for 20 years, you know what I'm saying? That have fucking hits, like and we're not talking like millions of plays, we're talking like Grammys.
Yeah.
And this was like, again, my first time to like, I was holding a Grammy. Like, what the fuck? Like,
whose Grammy were you holding?
It was Usher Grammy. Okay. Yeah, it was an Usher Grammy.
Dope.
Right? So I was like, oh my gosh, bro. I was like, this is crazy. It was a interesting time in my life, but I got to learn and I got to take that whole other side with me and basically apply it. You know what I'm saying?
So what was like some of the best stuff about working in those big studios?
The vibe, bro. It's special there. Like, especially the Westlake one. Well, Record Plant too, though. They're both just so special because
that's Michael Jackson's spot, right?
Yeah, Westlake, Michael Jackson. And like, there was a point where I was going and I was doing it, and I was like, goddamn, like this is crazy. But like, again, you get to this level. I'm this platinum producer, and then I get in here. Oh, you don't have a Grammy. What the fuck? Like, okay, you're right, but I want one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was a different dynamic. So I got to learn in a really like a.
Is that what Usher said to you?
No.
Oh, I was like, what?
The producers, but I'm saying though that's
like,
that's a higher level though. It's a different thing, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're looking at it like these guys have multiple
like,
Grammys.
who are
like,
you?
Yeah, like
how'd you get
got
in this
a couple
room?
million plays. That's cool. Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you're okay. Who are you?
Yeah,
like,
who are you? Yeah, who do you know? Or yeah, you must be dope. Or
you gotta be dope if you're in here. You know.
100%.
Hey, that's when I met Beazie, and he was like giving me the sauce on the studio stuff. He was like, man, it's the gear, the setup, the vocal chain, the mic, the cable, and like, Beazie was telling me this. I was all word, and I was like, took some notes.
Mind blowing, right?
Yeah, you were catching a lot of sauce out there, and got the formula too. So
that's what it was.
And pass it on. Thank you, appreciate it.
No problem, Phil. No problem.
That's what we're in here today on now.
Exactly.
All the stuff you told me, I got most of it. I see
Full
I
circle.
won't coming, but
You'll get there. But no, but dude, like that was my, again, I got to dive head first into the highest level, you know. So again, I did that for 9 months, and I went under the radar. I didn't tell nobody. I just did it for myself, bro.
That's
like,
right.
I was in there with Lil Jon for 2 weeks. I was in there with Usher for months. Like, he knew me by first name. Like, he was my homie. Like, he was cool, you know. Now it's like, it's a different level. It's a different kind of thing, you know. Like, not anybody could just go in that room. Not anybody could just go in there. Like, and when they're in there, they're themselves. They're free. Like, it's a different thing.
So it's like they're not working.
Yeah. It's like work, but it's like, you know, they're them. This is what they do, like the real person, you know. So it was interesting to see different sides of it, you know. But again, the higher level, there's a lot of ups and downs, and there's a lot of bad people too.
Oh yeah, 100%.
You know? And when it comes to like financial shit, money.
Oh yeah.
There's a lot of things out there that are, you know, go wrong. So again, I took it for what it's worth, and I did my time as much as I could. You know what I'm saying? And then when it was time to, you know, for the end, it just, you know, it was time to move on.
Fam,
So,
I didn't mean to cut you off. You got any Usher stories you could tell us?
oh man, I do, and I have a video too, bro. So check this out. It was the first time when I went there, right? When I first got called there, and it was like, yeah, pull up to the studio, the Usher session, and I was like, the fuck? Like, pull up? Okay. Like, goddamn, all right, I'm there. Let's do it. So I pulled up, and I'm thinking like, honestly, I had no expectations because I didn't know what the fuck was gonna go on. It's my first time going to Westlake. Like,
they gotta let you in the gate. You gotta
yeah,
get in
bro,
the gate. You gotta
it's
be on a
clearance.
list. Yeah.
Like, it's fucking beautiful. Like, bro, like, insane, right?
These places are like Disneyland for artists.
Seriously, it's like all amenities, everything, right? And so I go in there, and then I'm like, okay, cool. And then I kind of just like finesse my way in. Like, oh, I'm on the list. Like, I'm with the other session. I'm with the producers, blah, blah. And they were Mexican and I was Mexican. I guess it made sense.
There you go.
So they let me in, like.
That's right.
And then, like, because they didn't answer the phone, test 1. So it's all about tests, like, in the industry, all about tests. Weird test kind of things, you know? Like, people that are at a higher level seeing who's going to come up next, who's going to be able to pass the test. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And a lot of these OGs are like that.
Yes.
Like,
I agree.
oh, if you can't
100%.
pass that test, then
Yup.
he's not even going to be able to do anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So a lot of those were things like that. And that was test 1 was, how do you get into the spot if I don't answer the phone? You know what I'm saying? So again, all learning experiences. Got in there, boom, boom. And then I'm like, he's like, oh, you made it. All right, cool. Test 1. And I'm sitting there, no usher. His engineer's right there. The producer's right there. And I'm like, cool, this is dope. And then all of a sudden, like, they just start playing whatever. They're like just kind of jamming out. They're just trying to like kind of come with an idea. And then I just hear him like walk in, and he like walked in, right? And I was just like, oh, okay, shit, this is for real. And we're just like in the spaceship, like it's like Millennium Falcon. This shit is crazy, bro. So they just start jamming out, right? And then all of a sudden, fucking, like they go into this, like, cause it was for the live. So basically, I did like all the shows, the performances. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, dope. Okay.
Yeah, it was a lot of those performances.
The ones out in Vegas?
Yeah, Vegas, the first Vegas one, the ABC, ADDC, whatever. Some of those like other shows and shit like that.
Okay.
Were you guys doing like soundstage work?
Yeah, exactly.
dope.
Nice.
Everything. And they were doing all the production for it.
So Westlake has a soundstage?
No.
You guys go to Henson's? A&M?
No. Westlake has a soundstage at the other one, the Michael Jackson one.
Yeah.
That's the big one.
Gotcha.
Yeah, right there. And they have like the big live room right there. But yeah, so we started, we just kind of like, they were there, right? And we were all jamming. It was all cool. And then he just like, I don't know how it happened, bro, but somebody played something, and then he was like, yeah. He said something like, yeah. They were talking about Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, because that's who trained the dudes that I was working for.
Okay,
they came
dope.
from, yeah.
Okay.
The Avila brothers. They came from that, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the Avila brothers.
Yes, sir. Shout out to them. And they were from that era, blah, blah, right? And anyways, they were talking about something, and then he was saying that, you know what I'm saying, that once, what was the song? There was a song. Damn, now I can't think of it. How can I want to pull it up on my phone. I really want to pull it up on my phone, you know what I'm saying? But he did a cover of this song, bro, and it was like so legendary, and it was beautiful as fuck. Like, it was like the most beautiful, like, I don't think anybody will ever hear that, you know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody will ever hear it. Like, it was like so like, and I got a video of it though, like on the sly. Like, I had to. It was like, it was one of those, bro. Like, I had to, bro. Like, I didn't know if this was ever
if you
gonna
snuck
happen.
in, you didn't sign an NDA yet, so shit.
Right?
What up?
For real.
Right?
Hey,
That's dope.
TMZ hit up Beazie for that video.
Yeah.
He just wants 250.
250. Him seeing like an exclusive cover of this song, like, oh my gosh. And yeah, crazy, bro. Crazy experiences.
You guys got to subscribe to Beazie to find out what song that is. That's a cliffhanger right there.
I know.
Subscribe to
I'm
his
like,
YouTube, and he'll
I'm
tell
like-
you guys.
I'm like,
Exactly.
damn. I'm like, off the top of my head, I can't remember right now because I wasn't
That's
even
right.
thinking about that.
When I
That's way
first
back.
started like hollering at you, he was like, yeah.
I think I showed you that video. Phil,
Probably.
didn't I? I probably did, to be honest, because I was hype about that because that shit was dope as fuck.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like just us three and him, and it was like, what the fuck?
And so did you get to work on the board or dial in like compressors
Hell
or
yeah,
do
bro,
engineering stuff?
bro.
Like what was like a daily? Let's talk a little bit about your workflow when you were there, because you were hands on, and you could kick a little bit of sauce right now. What it's like going from probably, were you in the box mostly before you went into that big old analog
So
situation?
it was just,
or?
it was really a lot more of just, you know, basic hands-on like tech work. You know what I'm saying? And then you would have the nice engineers that would be like, oh, you want to learn how to do this? You know what I'm saying? That's what it was a lot of, because a lot of these guys were, you You know what I'm saying? They didn't want to show the sauce.
Yeah, yeah.
The younger guys, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of these younger coming up dudes, they were smart as fuck. These are the dudes that know how to work the boards like crazy. It's the engineer techs, you know what I'm saying? The assistants.
Yeah.
Right? So once we started, like, at the big studio at Westlake, it was a little different because they had a runner and he would do everything, right?
And that was the assistant engineer's assistant.
But they were smart though, bro.
Yeah, the runner's on deck to be that guy next,
yes,
though.
exactly. So the assistant engineer though at Westlake was the runner, which was whack because that shouldn't be like that, bro. But anyways, those guys were really smart. And they would, you know, show a lot of shit. So every time something would happen, we would go, you know, I would just be right there with them, you know. And it was, like I said, my job was like, I was there to just help them, you know what I'm saying? But I got to be able to take advantage of all of that. So I was in charge of all the equipment. So the keyboards, the MPC, the DJ shit, any other instruments that they were going to bring. And that's what I was in charge of setting up, all that, right?
Okay, dope.
And then now I got to work hand in hand with the guys.
You're sound checking with the engineer in the
with
room.
the engineer, with all that. I was sound checking, doing all that.
studio.
It was fucking amazing, right?
Yeah.
So I was able to dial it in.
The sickest mic stands, the sickest mics.
Everything, bro.
best
Dialing it all in.
Yeah,
and
DI boxes
these guys
everywhere.
played everything, so it was like we had everything. We had like a crazy studio setup. Like there was fucking so much shit in there. All these guitars, basses, fucking keyboards, talk box, fucking everything, bro.
Live drums in a cage.
Exactly, seriously.
Yeah.
Live drums. We recorded Rihanna's drummer, super dope dude.
Yeah.
We recorded him in there, right? And again, it was just an experience. I got to learn and see it firsthand, all of it. So, but then we started working at different studios too. So when I got to the smaller studios, like there was other studios, right? But there's a lot of studios that got boards.
Okay.
But I mean, I wouldn't say a lot of them. There's a handful that are in LA that got boards.
Yeah, you don't always need the board though.
But
sometimes it's in the way.
But no. That's the thing though. These guys, the older, they live by the board, bro.
Right.
They won't do it without the board.
Neve boards.
They won't do it unless it goes through the board. Like that's the thing. Like that's their sound. You know what I'm saying? All the OGs, everything goes through the board.
Because they make a real pop.
So what's the difference?
The sound. Yeah. That's what they feel. They feel the sound is different, and that's how they've always done it, and they don't want to change it.
Yeah, SSL or a Neve board is like the most popular.
So when we got to the when we started working at the smaller studios,
sound.
they had boards, the same kind of boards, but they were like, they weren't as high end, I guess you could say, as Westlake. It was the record room. There was another one too. It's Manny Marroquin. You know those plugins.
Yeah, Manny. Yeah.
Manny Marroquin. So we were working at his studios, right? And he has his studio in it's in Burbank, I believe, like right there high top of LA.
City, Burbank.
Yeah. But yeah, exactly. Yep. So and we were going there for a minute, bro, working there, and that's where I really got to learn the board and everything because the engineer I got to work with, he was super cool, and he liked me, so he kind of showed me everything, put me on all the plugins, all that shit, as well as me, you know, of course, taking notes on all the big shit, like. Because I worked with some crazy engineers like on there, like Usher's engineer, fucking crazy. They had their stand-in for Usher sessions where it was this guy Billy was Ariana Grande's engineer. Like that's the stand-in.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck, right? You know what I'm saying? They all got Grammys and shit. Like all these guys Grammys, bro. And then there was a couple of other dudes. This other dude Ray, he was dope. He has a Grammy with Kendrick right now. Like all these dudes I got to like bump elbows with, but again, like. There it's a different clock when you're in that bigger studio because it's fucking way more expensive, you know what I'm saying? You don't got a lot of downtime.
The only person that's allowed to make people wait is an artist.
Exactly. 100%.
No one else is allowed to make anyone wait. You got to be on point. You got to be on time.
100%.
And you got to get it figured out fast.
So it was like it was a lot of that too, like
right?
Oh, you're taking way too long, bro.
Is that your cable?
Really? Can you hurry it up? Like
that's
shit
what they were saying. Like
bro, shit, it gets crazy, bro.
Yeah. Who mic'd that? Who ran that mic
cable? Bro, who did that? Oh my gosh, they got to be like it. Just like I was like, man, bro, okay, man, you don't fuck up, just don't fuck up. You know what I'm saying? But it also, of course, depends on the person. You know what I'm saying? Depending on the person. But not everybody was cool. Like
and
a lot of people were, you know, and the day, 100%.
Yeah.
Time of day, too.
And if you miss the take because of some shit, whoo.
Yep.
Whoo,
if you didn't comp,
never be that guy.
And that's where I learned to always comp every vocal. Because if you miss something and they want it, they might go be like, hey, that take I did 10 takes ago, can you pull out that out there? I need that for this one line. And you're going to be like, well, I kind of deleted it. You didn't say you wanted it. what do you mean? I don't have to say that, you know? But it gets like, you just got to be on point. So that showed me at the highest level, like, damn, I really got to step it up, you know what I'm saying? And that, you know, Pro Tools too, like that really got me diving in deep into Pro Tools and just like going for the real, for the best, you know, the best that I could do. And I was like, now that I seen it, okay, cool, dope. So again, like when I went back and we started working at these smaller studios is when, like I said, I was able to be more hands-on, because now there was only one like assistant engineer, and it was for the whole studio. So I was kind of the assistant engineer now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So now I'm like
you can get the session going.
I'm in the room, I'm turning everything, like I'm doing everything, bro. And then since the engineer was cool, like he had me now, I'm bringing my mouse, I'm like doing everything, like I got my own setup now, like it started to change, like, you know, and I started to learn more and just started diving in more.
Yeah, whatever it takes to get the work done, right?
Yep. And it was cool because at the same time I was recording with the artist, my artist. So again, when we kept moving, like the goal was building me up as a producer. And the goal was to put this album out with this artist that we were doing. And so we collabed on it. His name's Pius. Shout out to Pius, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out Pius.
And yeah, we were working on this album this whole time. And it was a great
He's
it's a great album.
To ghetto celebrity,
yeah, it's a great album.
He's dope.
So the 7 Wonders of the World, a great album, right? And we did it all at all these studio sessions, and again, greatest learning experience of my life. And I got to learn from the best, and I got to learn like at the highest quality. But then I got to be really hands-on though, because we're going into sessions and we're working on my beat. So it was like, oh shit, like this is a little bit different than Westlake right now. Like a big step. Like this is way different than Westlake. Now I'm in the position. Like
and
this is
you
dope.
were having like a lot of live instrumentation in your music.
Yes. So a lot of like, I guess they call it overdub. Like we're gonna just do some overdubs. You know what I'm saying? And like add some shit, some sauce on it. So I already had all the beats, and we were just adding extra little bit of sauce, and just little things. You know, some of them needed nothing. Some of them were like, we don't really need anything, to be honest. And then some of them were like, oh. And then we started making stuff like I just started making beats from scratch, and like shit started getting crazy, because then we started like diving in, you know.
Pulling out the instruments.
Yeah, there's one song that's called on the Pius album. It's called "Complicated," right? And that one has Latoya Williams from she did that Jay-Z song. Okay, she has a Jay-Z feature for sure on like one of his big records. What the fuck is it? I can't remember off the top of my head. But anyways, she was in the studio. She worked with us. Fucking got to work with a lot of people. Fucking I got to record El DeBarge.
Oh, dope. Yes.
I got to record, man, bro. Shit was fucking cool, man. I got to work with a lot of dope artists and a lot of dope people, and like gain some really cool chops out of that.
And see different workflows and how people roll,
bro,
too.
100%.
That's important, right?
How people stack their vocals, how they just different engineers record.
And
you know
all
what I'm
the
saying?
people got a different energy when they come in the door, and you got to know what time it is, like real quick.
100%, bro. 100%. So yeah, I was able to really, really kind of see firsthand like the highest level.
Yeah, that helped you develop a really good workflow. So like you worked with a lot of local artists too, and like produced a lot of stuff, recorded a lot of stuff, engineered a lot of stuff around too. And maybe talk a little bit about that part, because I mean, like you're really good at that. I learned a lot about all that from you.
Yeah, so once I finished that session, like that was almost like around COVID, you know what I'm saying? Around the COVID era. I finished that session, and it was, you know, time to move on. So I took all that knowledge back and I brought it back to the IE. And that's kind of where I, you know what I'm saying, I really went in, and it was really, really focused on me just dialing in. And I was like, at that point, my beats are dope. I'm in there with Grammy producers, you know what I'm saying? But how do I get the vocals like that? That was my thing. How the fuck do I get the vocals like that? And then I got to see firsthand, oh shit, it's nothing of what I thought it was. Like, god damn it, it's all what's before. You know what I'm saying? It's what's before and then after comes into play. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the game.
So for me, it was like, wow, like I'm doing it all wrong. I get it now. I understand. I know what to do. So now let me go back and apply this, you know? And I could have went more opportunity and kept going, but for me, it was like, I feel like at that point I needed to apply it. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I came back and applied it, and I just started like recording more people, but really just dialing in for that tone. I got to work with like a lot of these some dope artists in LA, building shit, you know what I'm saying? Some independent artists and stuff like that. Yeah, man.
Got your mic game up too,
The
right?
learning the
Got
tricks
that
of the trade.
AKG.
Learning the tricks of the trade. I'm not lying. Like, it's really, you know, the sauce you get from like people that have been doing it forever. Like, you can't get that from anywhere else, you know, because they have a certain way of doing
Some stuff can be
things.
fake too, and it's just like
Yep.
good gear, knowing how to work it, and really what it does.
No, straight up though. It's like, it's an interesting game. But again, I got to just see firsthand and be able to switch my shit up. So again, I was like back to the, okay, so how can I make this shit now better, you know? And I just kind of switched up my whole process, but made it better, you know? I took a little bit from everybody, and then I started applying it to myself, to my, like, my shit, you know?
Yeah.
And then that's kind of like, I started landing like a lot more placements like that as well. And it's just been kind of steady, you know what I'm saying? It's just been steady. I just been picking and choosing, having fun with it. Like I said, like, I got a lot of stuff in the shelf. And it's just timing wise for me to put it out. Like, I'm not in a rush, but I just always love to see the growth. You know what I'm saying? Of where I've started, and then to where it's now. It's like wow. This is cool, man. This is kind of what I envision. You know. But again, this is only to the next step. You know.
Yeah.
So the next step, I'm gonna keep going and keep building, keep grinding, keep building, and trying to get some more placements. That's the goal, you know.
That's what's next.
So how can artists get in contact with you? Or what do you recommend? Go, sorry.
I mean, the usual. Hit me up, you know. But I got a lot of followers, so you know, you might get lost in translation.
Yeah,
but artists need to be patient too. You know what I'm saying? It took me 10 years, 12 years to get here. So you guys got to be patient, man. You got to be patient. And coming up, like, people didn't really like throw me a bone, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I had a lot of people show me knowledge, but I had to go and get it for myself. 100%. I had to go and do it, you know what I'm saying? So everybody got to do it for themselves, really, you know? You got to make shit happen for yourself. Nobody's going to do it for you, number one.
Yes.
And you just got to, you know, keep it grinding no matter what.
Hey, man, you do a lot of stuff. Like, what's kind of your favorite things to work on right about now? And what kind of project would you like to work on next?
I've been working with, I was showing you guys some of my stuff from this new artist I got, Don Vic, you know what I'm saying, Multiple Suspects, Samurai, you know what I'm saying, I got some dudes, they're fire, dude, and I've been trying to build them up. Don Vic, me and him been working for a minute, so I'm excited for the world to hear him, you know what I'm saying. We got a lot of shit, like a catalog's worth of stuff, but again, it's timing and perfecting that craft. That's how you're going to be able to withstand time, you know.
Yeah.
So a lot of these songs right now are throwaways because these guys are just doing it, you know, not thinking about the long term. So
I agree.
So for, you know, I got that going on. I also have a solo album that I've been working on, you know what I'm saying? An instrumental album.
Dope.
I don't know if I showed you, it, huh? Yeah, no.
I don't think so.
We got to play it later.
Yeah, we got to play some of it. And then I got that I've been working on. You know, just trying to have fun. I got some, like, just a lot of music, bro. A lot of music, I'm not going to lie. And I've been being a little bit more selective with the artists that I'm working with, you know what I'm saying?
Good.
I had, you know, some more placements. I had this one with Asia. She's a dope Princess of Compton. That's her name. Yeah, she's dope as fuck too. I had this placement with her. And then just continuing to work, man. Continuing to work, to build. It's been a blessing to be able to get this far and still be able to be like with the music like how I am, like on the daily. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got a lot of content out there too, man. A lot of cool stuff.
100%. I agree. Your catalog is, like we already talked about, like amazing. Even the stuff that you may cringe upon, like that's part of the catalog.
But not just like the music that's released, but like tons of videos. Like you show people how to do stuff on there, and like making beats live, like ill beats in like an hour with all live instruments. That shit is tight. I watch when I can.
Yeah, I'm the same.
For me, like I've always treated it like a job because there's work to be done. It's not like you just go in there and the beat's made. No, there's work you have to do. Yeah. You have bad days, you have good days. You still have to do it. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So for me, I've always treated it like a job. And that's how I've been able to be consistent. So the same with the lives and stuff like that. Just like, okay, when I go in on it, like I'll take breaks though. Like right now I'm on a break. I'm on a little hiatus, you know what I'm saying? But to come back harder, that's usually always what it is, you know? And it's just because there's burnout is real, bro. Burnout is so real. Especially when you get older, burnout is real.
100%.
These young producers, these young artists, you need to know that.
Yeah, but the consistency is to be admired. Like you've always been a really consistent person with the craft, and you've always worked like strategically too.
Yes,
which is dope. Like,
that's what it is though.
Yeah.
The strategy behind everything though. That's why I don't drop shit all the time. That's why I'm like, you know what I'm saying? But for me, it's always been like the plan, and then
it's
also,
like what's next, hone that skill in, and drop something.
100%. Like I got a lot of stuff planned, so you know what I'm saying. That's the next goal, is to move forward with everything, you know. But right timing of everything for me, it's about a timing thing. When I feel it, you know. When I feel right, because again, it's me. There's no rules. There's no rules. I'm the person that's in charge of this. You know what I'm saying? That's what's cool about it. And it took me a long time to be like, to realize that, and to be like, damn, like there's no rules, bro. Like, get past that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do this.
Hey,
like,
what you know don't you do? Like, what do you gotta learn still? That's one thing I'll ask. Cause like you DJ, you play instruments, you can play drums if you need to.
The Freebird solo.
Record. Like,
nah, honestly, man, always trying to sharpen my skills. Honestly, I've been playing piano a lot more, playing a lot more live instruments, and just really falling, like, it's not that you fall out of love with the music, but again, like I said, it's like a relationship, you know. You got to nurture it. So you got to find ways to, you know, get you back into it or to keep you interested, stuff like that. So for me, the live instruments, like, there'll be days where I'll just sit on my piano, and I got this dope, like, Roland, like, it's like a virtual piano, like intelligent. It's OG, but you could, like, sample yourself, you know? Like, it has, like, a sequencer on it. So it's, like, really organic. But I'll just make beats like that and just throw them away. Like, I won't even record them, and I'll just have fun, play the guitar to it, just have fun, bro. Like, that's kind of what my process has been lately, just trying to have fun, you know, with that, and with DJing too, you know, like, just having fun with it right now, you know, because again,
the music feels different.
Feels different when it's fun, you know. When it's a job, it's great, you know, and that's what I did. I've done it forever, and that's, you know, but when you got to find that makes you happy, you know.
Hey, AI ain't never going to be able to make real shit like real people.
Yeah, no, I agree. People are always going to go back. Like, AI to me is a phase. It's always going to be there, but there's something about just, like, human interaction. You're never going to be able to get rid of that. You know what I mean?
That relationship, you know, like, you have different relationships with different people, so it's a different vibe, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and you get a lot of analog sounds, too, which I think your music, especially over the last few years, it really stands out because there's something about the analog recordings that just, you know, make you feel some type of way when you hear them.
It's a different frequency, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a way different frequency.
Yeah. I really appreciate that about your music. Is like, those are not samples off of the splice. Like, you, homie's playing them on a nice guitar with nice cables into a nice preamp.
Yeah.
And getting tone and stuff like that. That's thought out, and that's game right there.
It's again, it's the process and it's work behind it. Like, it's not just gonna happen, you know.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta learn it, and then you have to apply it. You know.
Yes.
And for me, that's why I was like, I couldn't wait from the big studio to learn, to go back and to be able to apply it to what I was doing, you know, and then figuring it out. Like, man, bro, it's crazy. It's crazy how many tracks you could do, right? But how many tracks? Like, I have a big catalog already, but I have a bigger catalog of unreleased shit, like the shit that's probably never gonna come out because either financial or just business didn't work out or relationship didn't work out. Like, it's just, there's so many things, you know what I'm saying?
Or they don't even make music no more.
Or they don't even, or they quit music, like, you know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Like, it's crazy how much. But again, then I look back at the catalog and I'm like, I'm not mad at it. I just would like to keep adding to it.
There you
That's
go.
my goal. And now I'm at a point where I'm trying to add what I like. You know what I'm saying? And, like, just fire shit that I'm like, that's fucking fire, bro. Like, like, there's no doubt about that. Like, I know it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And that's, you know, from 11 or from 12 years ago, 10 years ago, I was like, yeah, that's great. I didn't know, you know? To now, like, I know. The next morning when I listen to it, I know it, if it's good or not. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's crazy because it took me that long to kind of figure that out.
Hey,
So you become a master.
Hey, that shows you how much of a different person you are from day to day. Because if you go to bed like, oh my God, that was so good, and then the next morning you be like, whoa, what were we doing yesterday?
The diversity of it.
Yep. 100%.
Shit changes, bro. Shit changes.
Always moving.
You should always, yeah, definitely it's going to evolve. You know what I mean? But it's always good to go back to those classics like RZA. I'm pretty sure he cringes like at the first few albums, but those are classics.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Same thing. It's undeniable.
I don't cringe
Yeah.
at nothing. It was all a day, and we were going hard, so whatever.
Sometimes like we still live in that time period. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
especially like the organic feel back in those days, the music, it was raw and authentic. You know what I mean? I feel like nowadays,
Hey,
it is
that's
becoming
one
more
thing about a
like
song,
cookie
though.
cutter.
If you got a really good song, it don't matter what you recorded it on because the
Yeah.
song's so good. Like you could listen to old school music and it could have errors in it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But because the song is so good, it's got you. So that's the most important thing because you could record a whack song through the best gear and it's still gonna be a whack song.
Yeah, 100% though.
100%.
100%.
Yep.
But that's the thing. Like when you have a lot of people in the room at the high level, you got to get the whack song past 6 people. You got to
Yeah.
press. You got to make
That's
6
real shit.
people like, yeah, that's it. You know what I'm saying?
And a lot of them whack songs are gems, like you were saying. That unreleased
Straight up, straight up. Like again, the catalog.
would make people cry, but no one
The
will ever hear.
catalog is crazy, but you know, you can't make everything work. You can't. Unfortunately, with business, it's just part of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You take L's and you just, you know, you learn from them.
It's like boxing,
agree.
trying to get people to
Yup.
work together, like their label and their publisher. Like,
Yep.
they just don't talk.
It's true though, bro. Like
They're on different emails. One's on Microsoft and one's on Gmail, and they just can't talk.
it's like, man. But again, it's never ending. This is what I do. This is me. This is who I've been, who I've become. You know what I'm saying, Kev? And I'm really fortunate, bro, to be where I'm at.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? I have great people around and just like continue to be able to like spread my knowledge because that's what it is too, bro. Like for me, just you know, giving back and spreading my knowledge.
Yeah,
like
thank you for that.
being able to, no problem, bro. Being able to teach and like help people because again, I was at a point where I needed help and I had to search for it. So like being able to have people not search that far, you know what I'm saying? And that could like change people's lives, you know what I'm saying?
And it
like-
could change yours because you're the guy who knows how to do it. And then you're like, hey, I got a guy who could, you know.
100%.
So sometimes you're the plug all of a
Like
sudden.
I got a lot of people, a lot of students and stuff that I'm just like, man, so proud of because how far they've come. But again, me being able to influence them and show them the right way and, you know, hopefully give them that little bit of extra to help them succeed, bro. Like, yeah, I'm all for that, bro. I'm glad to help. And it's been an interesting process to be able to go on that side, you know what I'm saying? And like give back. Like it's dope because a lot of these kids nowadays, it's tough, bro. They don't have stand a chance.
Yeah, I agree.
Unless they meet somebody magically like me or like you guys.
It's fleeting and it's a short window when people don't have responsibility but they're grown up.
The future is bright, but you know what I'm saying? You got to give them a little bit of light. You got to
Yeah.
show them a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
They got to be able to see what it could be before, you know?
100%.
Because that light's not there. It's just not there no more. But if you show a person, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, like I got this kid that I've been teaching how to DJ for a year now, bro. And like, it's just, man, it just reminds me of myself. Just really young. Like, wow, like this kid has a chance, you know? Same with like guitar players that I've been teaching stuff. Like, it's just crazy, man, to be on that side too, you know? And then take it back and then be in the other role again. Like it's just 2 different dynamics, but it's been good to get back again. And I just want, like I said, I want the future to succeed though. That's what it is. These kids, bro, and a lot of people just, you know, let them just grow up and they don't have no direction.
Yes.
So if I could do my part, you know, if I could do my part, that's the plan. So
No, you've been doing your part. We appreciate you. Thank you, fam.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
You already know, bro. You already know. It's been a wild ride, but yeah, we've had some fun though. We've had some fun, you know.
Yeah. Yo, I was going to bring up some stuff, but, you know, we'll save that for another time. You know what I mean? But, I appreciate all the jewels that you've dropped today, fam.
Yeah,
We
Beazie could
appreciate
get a
you
part
sharing.
2 on just like
Yo,
tech questions.
hey,
I
we
could
could be
ask
here
you
all
tech
night.
stuff for like
You know
an
what I
hour.
mean?
Oh yeah.
For real. And we'll end it with this question. What if you had to choose one, is there anything that you would choose? Whether it be a musician, whether it be a producer, DJing, or being behind the scene, like
Out of everything I do?
out of everything you do.
That's a great question. Honestly, the music production, bro. I can't live without it. Honestly, I've tried. It eats me alive, bro. Literally. Like, I just can't. Like, I have to make a beat or I have to, do something musically. And for me, like, that's how I know that's what it is. Everything else is extra. That's what makes me a little special, you know what I'm saying? But the music production, bro, making beats is just always been something. And I feel like just for me, like, just being able to chase that, like, perfection for myself. It's always been that never-ending battle, chasing that perfection. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And now that I'm, like, closer than ever, it's, like, almost surreal. You know what I'm saying? Because I've, like, this is where I wanted to be. And then now I'm, like, here. It's like, wow, shit, okay. What's next? You know what I'm saying? And I know what's next because I have all the music for what's next. But now, you know what I'm saying, business-wise and, everything else-wise, like, timing-wise, everything, that's what's next,
Yeah.
So you can follow me across the board at Beazie Beats on everything, BEAZIE Beats, you know what I'm saying, Beats with the S, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, all that, everything, you know what I'm saying. Shoot me a follow. I got a bunch of content. I got a bunch of beats, bunch of music. I got playlists on my YouTube channel, you know what I'm saying. Links in my bio, all that to all my music, everything. I got beats for days, Got my beat store, all my links in there too. You just basically Google Beazie Beats and he's gonna pop up everything, You already know what's up. Appreciate you for having me, Kev.
Appreciate you too,
Yeah.
fam. Thank you.
IEST
Yeah.
Podcast. You already know what's up.
We out.
We out.
Peace.